You're still watching TVC Breakfast, and right here in the studio is time for trending, and Olamide is standing by to tell us everything happening on the streets of social media.
Good morning, team. How are we doing today?
Good morning. Always a pleasure to see you, because I know the stories are going to be really hot.
Of course. Now, you guys watching back home, what you don't know is that me and Ria are constantly playing. When we come here, we're very serious. But we just finished a serious play before you guys, before you tuned in. Shall we see what everyone's talking about?
Of course, take it away.
Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has a finger on the pulse and an eye on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, we bring you trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in. We begin today with this story, where a viral video from Niger Delta University in Bayelsa is making a lot of controversy online. It shows a lecturer physically assaulting a female student in a crowded lecture hall, and reports say that the student was accused of exam malpractice and asked to leave, but she refused, demanding her phone. And when the lecturer denied her request, she allegedly smashed his phone on the floor, triggering the violent confrontation that's now circulating. And it's clear that a troubling pattern is emerging. It's almost as if every week on this segment I have to report another story of a woman facing violence online. But the question is no longer just about one clash. It's about what this violence constantly says of the values that are shaping our campuses, our classrooms, and our country. Every other week, a woman is is being assaulted. It's very sad to watch, but let's take a look at what social media is saying about this incident. Chine Meluma says, failed society. I remember years back when students respected their teachers and held them in high places. You dare not sit on your teacher's desk in his absence. Talk more of engaging in a fight with your lecturer. Anthony Biose says the lecturer's actions were excessive and unwarranted. He had the capability to de-escalate the situation without resorting to physical violence, such as blows and punches. This incident highlights a troubling misuse of authority and a failure to handle the situation with the necessary restraint and professionalism expected in an academic setting. And finally, Life in Solace says, it's always with the female students. This time around, both the lecturer and the student should be duly punished. Let it not be only the student that will be punished. Otherwise, this will continue. I worry that we'll raise a generation of young women who are used to assault at the hands of men. But moving on now, still in the world of social media, a disturbing video circulating online shows a shocking execution-style killing of 3 young men who are allegedly punished for their involvement in criminal activities. Now, the footage you're watching was posted on social media, and it captures the voice of a man speaking in a mix of Igbo, Pidgin, and English. But essentially what he's saying is that the young men took his weapon and carried out robberies and home invasions, and him shooting them was punishment for this. And in the video, despite their pleas, one of them insisting that he had no part in these crimes, the man fires multiple rounds, appearing to kill all 3 men, or at least fatally injure 2 of them. And his face never appears on camera, but his voice is clear as he declares that these killings, these shootings, were meant to teach them a lesson. Now, the exact location of this incident is yet to be verified, but the video has, of course, sparked a lot of outrage across Nigeria, and indeed in the world of social media. Citizens are now demanding swift actions from security agencies. And we have to ask ourselves, if private individuals can take the law into their own hands, like we just saw in the video, record it and broadcast this execution-style killing to millions, what does that say about our state's hold on justice? This is very, very scary. This is worrisome. I think that we need to deploy security operatives there and get to the bottom of this. 3 young lives seemingly wasted. Let's take a look at social media. Leonard Chica says, the man is saying they used the guns for robberies while it was meant for them to use and secure people's lives and property. There is no excuse. I'll take another tweet. And someone says, this is enough for the governor to declare a state of emergency and dispatch troops to apprehend this criminal. This is extrajudicial killing and barbaric. Is this happening in the same Nigeria? Team, this is very, very sad to see. 3 young men seemingly fatally wounded, execution style. We're yet to know the updates on if these young men survived that incident. But it's almost like a movie, so gruesome. 3 young men shot execution style on social media, and this is being broadcast. The man did say that he's teaching them a lesson. Apparently, they are a local vigilante group, and they used his gun, the weapons that we're supposed to use to protect, to go and rob people. But that is not an excuse.
Yes, Olamide, I was almost forced to ask whether that was a movie scene. you know, for that to have happened. And then if you are reprimanding, that's not even a reprimand, because it's murdering these young, you know, young guys, because they alleged for doing certain things, and then at the end of the day, what he had to do was just to shoot them, kill them, saying that you're teaching them a lesson. Who are you teaching the lesson? Is it the dead, or the deceased family, or even the onlookers? This is a wake-up call to our governors, our governments in general, to ensure that whoever is holding the firearms, whether vigilante, whether soldiers, what have you, they use it properly. And then people who are not authorized to have access to these weapons should not have access to it. They should look for the whatever forensic analysis they want to do to this video, to try as much as possible to trace it. At least they can recognize some of the faces. So with one way or the other, they should be able to get this man and ensure that justice is, you know, done to him. That of the lecturer-student face-off, I do not know how to approach this matter. Now we are in a situation where people do not even have any regard for their lecturers. They do not have any regard as to the examination rules. When it comes to malpractices, you see people saying, yes, I've done it, what's going to happen? And then you also see some parents also subscribing to, you know, institutions that will help their students to also cheat in exams. And this lecturer did not even handle it very well. You saw the slant of the story. If a man slaps a woman, it's a problem. If a woman slaps a man and the man retaliates, it's a problem to the man. If a woman attacks a man first and a man does anything, it's a problem to the man. So meaning that the lecturer did not, you know, act well, he probably would have asked the student go out or call the security on the lady, one way or the other. Maybe the verse of the Bible, I guess, is it Matthew 5:39 that says, when your right cheek is actually slapped, you turn the other one. It doesn't work for women. It only works for men, I want to believe, because no man should ever raise a man, you know, on a woman.
Raise his hand on a woman, you mean? So let me move and start with the story of the violence. We see someone killing people. And Olamide, I've said this thing, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Because no matter what these people have done, why take the law into your hands and just... The person that is doing it, I'm like, are you not human as well? Like, what is the reason? And when I see stories like this, it really breaks my heart, because, you know, you've reported stories like this on the show before, and I'm like, what are we doing about it? What is the government doing about it? I'm hoping that these people that committed this crime, you know, you say you are killing criminals, but you yourself now is like you're a criminal. I hope that, you know, they're definitely put to book. And I move to the lecturer story. I do not support violence in any way. I feel like there are better ways that it could have been dealt with. A simple communication by, oh, leave the hall, or bring authorities to make the person leave the hall, rather than raise hands each other. I do not support violence in any way or the other.
Let me start with this lecturer-student matter right here. Let's look at the context. She was caught in error, examination malpractice. That is enough to throw you out of the classroom. Now, they said leave the class. She refused to leave because she was demanding for her phone. Apparently, maybe her phone was seized from her by the lecturer in some instance. Now, she says she's not leaving the hall, and then out of whatever debacle that ensued between the two of them, she first of all, because I want to understand if that's what happened first, smashed the lecturer's phone. How dare you? How dare you, after being caught in malpractice, have the audacity to now smash the phone of your lecturer, who could even keep you longer in that university because of that same course you are writing? Do we understand exactly what is going on here? And now we're talking about the female was being harassed the way she's been. Even though I'm not saying she should have been, but you shouldn't have done that in the first place. There's another way that you could have handled the matter without smashing his phone. So if he smashes your own phone and it goes the other way around, what will you now do?
But Nelson, let me just quickly comment.
That's absolutely wrong for you to do in the first place.
What she did was very wrong. But like I said, you know, it could have been handled in a better way. They could have called authorities instead of them engaging.
So which then now shows the kind of person this girl herself is. Because if you can do that to a lecturer in the public space, how then would you then take, you know, a personal? This is wrong in all.
What would she do to her own dad at home?
I mean,
On one hand, we have a smashed phone. On another hand, we have a human being being consistently sucker punched in the face. I don't know how that weighs out, but I'll take some more stories.
Nelson, I tell you, I warned you.
It's like he says, I warned you.
Moving on to some lighter news. In a comical exposure that made the internet laugh yesterday, a man appeared on celebrity entertainer Lege Miami's matchmaking live show, flaunting an EFCC ID card and claiming that he was looking for love. Take a look at this video.
Place your phone and move back, EFCC. Place your phone, move back.
I've just been told that he's actually Lege, not Lege, my bad. The fun, however, has now turned serious for this man as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has now identified him as Olakunle Alex Folarin, a dismissed staff member who once worked as a driver at its Ibadan Zonal Directorate. In a statement that was released on Monday, that's yesterday, the agency says that Folarin was sacked after investigations confirmed that he forged his academic credentials, and yet he held onto official property, including the identity card that he boldly displayed online while trying to be match made. EFCC has now also ordered his arrest and urged the public not to associate his post-dismissal conduct with the EFCC. Clearly, we are seeing that the EFCC eagle is always watching us. But jokes aside, this is very, very serious. We do know that the EFCC conducts sometimes late-night raids. We do know that they have the power to conduct arrests. And so an EFCC identity card that was not retrieved from this man, in any other instance, it can be used for intimidation, for extortion, for abuse. And so it's a very potent weapon in the wrong hands. But let's take a look at social media. Vector News says, at official EFCC, thanks for the eye-opening. I feel next time it's better to have the public know about dismissal of personnel. I'm very certain that there are still many dismissed staffs roaming with ID cards and committing crime in the name of EFCC. Please do justice to that. And Jerry says, how can you conduct a dismissal process without getting relevant identification documents from the ex-staff? This ought to have been the first thing to do after the dismissal. This is an embarrassment and a shame. This act portrays unprofessionalism, low standards and procedures. Why do you have a standard operating procedure? It's a guideline. I hope you learn from this. Moving on into the world of entertainment, but maybe not so entertaining. Content creator Habib Hamzat, popularly known as Peller, has stirred a lot of controversy online after a viral video showed him shoving TikTok creator Amadou Aminata, also known as Jarvis, at Sheyi Vibes' concert in Lagos. Now, in a response video, he got a lot of criticism, and in response, Jarvis dismissed claims that she's being abused by him because they're in a relationship, and she says it was just a misunderstanding. This is what the young woman has to say after the video surfaced of her being pushed like that.
People should leave my baby for me, I beg. Sometimes I know that he's always blaming his age, that is 20 years old. But I believe he will grow out of it again. Everybody.
Peller has now also responded, insisting that this clip was taken out of context, explaining that he was only trying to protect the young woman from aggressive fans that were demanding money. A lot of times on this segment, when I go and see your social media comments, I get comments like, why are you talking about TikTokers on a national breakfast show? The reason why is because these are the thought leaders of the future. Their patterns, their opinions, their thought processes shape the future, and we get an understanding into how the younger generation thinks. So that is why I talk about TikTokers on trend now, because that is what you guys are talking about. Let's take a look at social media. Truth Be Told says, Peller's complaint about a 30-second clip misrepresenting him is valid, but he should focus on managing his online presence better, especially at 20 years old. Social media's nature means short clips often dominate narratives, and he needs to adapt or face constant misrepresentation. Truth Be Told, in this digital age, controlling the story is as crucial as creating content. And Web Doctor says, Jarvis entered the limelight as a skilled and talented AI girl. How did she get to this point? She decided to dump her brand just to be messing around with Peller. So disappointing. I'm going to hand over to my team. And finally, Prime says, this is why I don't advise ladies in relationships. Anything you tell them behind their boyfriends, they will always go back to download everything to him. If I hand over to my very capable team and come back for some more interesting news, I'll take their perspectives. Team, what do you make of this? Jarvis and Peller, they constantly criticize us. Why are we talking about TikTokers? But unfortunately, these are the stories that get Nigerians talking. Why are we so interested in their lives?
I don't think we owe anyone apology as to why we take some stories, because, you know, I know some people always question, is this news and all of that? But it is clearly written in the caption, trending now. This is what is trending. And then it is not the conventional news. It is what people are talking about on the social media. I saw a lady, you know, trying to lecture us on, you know, Instagram yesterday, saying that, why are you reporting this story? Yabodo's daughter gave birth and all of that. And someone immediately responded to her like, come on, can't you see yourself? Can't you read that this is trending now? And this is a program that discusses trending issues. So I do not think people who fail to read, you know, it's very difficult for you to explain things to them. But talking about Peller, as to how he treated, you know, his lover, I don't know how Jarvis, you know, went from you know, being an AI specialty, AI lady, you know, to being shoved around like that. This lady is she's well learned, she's very educated and all of that. But as they say, love is blind, so what's my own? Talk about the EFCC. How do we sack someone, you know, relieve someone of their duty, and then we still have, the person still has their the credentials with them, as much as the ID card, and we know how powerful this institution is when it comes to anti-graft. Why should this person be bold enough to even get on TV, on social media, to flash it, to brandish it, that is a member of the EFCC seeking love? What is even wrong with Love Matters?
That is too much. I'm definitely going to come to this story, but let me start with the Peller and Jarvis story. And also, Olamide, it means that you're doing a fantastic job to bring everything that is trending here. If you cannot read to see that it's trending now, then I'm sorry to you. But talking about Jarvis, and I don't have anything against Peller, I sure do not. But this girl is very, very talented. I sit down and I do not understand. I'm not saying you cannot date who you love, but he should not make you deviate from what you were doing. You were fantastic, you know, as an AI person. That's how I got to know Jarvis. You know, and I remember the first day I saw on social media with the whole AI attire, I'm like, who is this girl? Beautiful innovation. So it's just so strange for me to see that you're now in this bubble, you know, you are being tossed around as a woman. Like, it doesn't just sit well with me at all. And I'm like, even if you still want to date Peller, I'm not trying to spoil your relationship, but please still focus on what you used to do before. A man should not be the reason why you leave what you're doing to just be following Peller around. And also to Peller, I think there's so many things he needs to work on. Like, if you're telling me this is content, the video I'm watching is not great content for the both of you. Now let me move to Lege, a responsible lady. Trust me, don't judge me, because I watch Lege a lot, but I think this is a criminal act. You know, you cannot bring, and first of all, how didn't EFCC take that card from him? I want to think that maybe he replicated the card, he did another one, because I'm sure that if you're sacking somebody, the person will definitely go, you know, you will definitely take your ID card from the person. This was very bad, and I'm happy that the EFCC came swiftly and they said something. Lege is just a comedian, and he makes me laugh.
I mean, did he go on the show banding the fact that he was an ex-EFCC staff and all of that? He could have gone on the show just as a citizen, you know, to find love. If you wanted to so do, it's not a crime. But maybe if you didn't ban that, we wouldn't be here talking about it, and you wouldn't be trending on that matter. For Peller, you know, in so many ways, I think Peller is still a child, or is still very young. So there's a lot of things he doesn't yet understand fully. On the other look of the matter, I think it's content, or they're just having fun and, you know, enjoying themselves. The young lady probably not. Now she came out to say, leave my love alone.
Don't put mouth in
love. Man or woman. Absolute business. But there's a lot that can still be walked around here.
Definitely.
Me, I'll put mouth. Jarvis, you are a young woman. Young women are watching you to be their role model, and it's important to remember that. I'll take some more news right now. Now, time shapes who we are, weaving together moments that define our past, inspire our present, and guide our future. This is Notable Timelines, another news segment, a reflection on the people, places, and the events that continue to leave their mark on Nigerian history. this day in 1957 in Enugu, Alban Uzoma Nwakpa, better known as Dr. Alban, is a Nigerian-born, Sweden-based musician who gave the world one of the most enduring anthems of the 90s, It's My Life, blending reggae, hip-hop, and Eurodance. The song sold over 16 million copies and made him a household name far beyond Nigeria. And interestingly, before music, Dr. Alban trained as a dentist in Sweden, where he began performing in nightclubs to help pay for his studies, hence the name Doctor that would stick to him for life. But beyond the global charts and his music, Dr. Alban holds a special place in Nigerian cultural memory. At a time when few African artists broke into international mainstream, he became a symbol of what was possible, proof that Nigerian creativity could cross borders and dominate airwaves. And decades later, his music still resonates, not just as nostalgia, but as a reminder of Nigeria's imprint on global music and global pop culture. On behalf of TVC Communications, happy birthday, sir. Thank you for your wonderful melodies. Before I hand over to my very capable team, I'd love you guys to please chime in on this segment with the hashtag TrendingNowTVC. And who knows, I might take some of your stories. Team, fun fact, Dr. Alban is actually the cousin of Charlie Boy, and apparently music can be passed down genetically.
It's a beautiful one, especially when you have Nigerians doing so well home and abroad in terms of music, in terms of technology. I know of Felix Imegwale, who also invented a computer that can compute over 30 billion calculations per second or something, you know, and a whole lot of them. We celebrated them here, and we are celebrating Dr. Alban here, you know, and we say kudos to, we say congratulations to Charlie Boy, or Charlie Man, as they would say.
And of course, I always say, when I say good news about Nigeria, all I'll say is that Nigeria, no, they carry last, and we see Nigerians representing us properly. I totally love this one, and happy birthday, and congratulations. You know, all that came to my mind was his musical beat, so I wanted to get to the beat of it, but I'm not sure I can do that. You wanted me to dance? But congratulations, sir. Thank you for what you've been doing, and we'd like to see more of this. Well done, sir. All right. Thank you so much, Olamide. Those were fantastic stories. Thank you so much. Well, that's where we draw the curtain. That's all we have for you this morning. But don't forget, the views and reactions of our guests are theirs and have no connection whatsoever with TVC. Up next is Your View with the beautiful ladies, and just after that, This Morning with Yori Folari. I am Ria Abdul. Good morning, Nigeria.